Hey everybody, it's Ozone, and once again I'm back here on the VaultCraft SMP. Yeah, I know it's been a while. It's been quite a long while, actually. At the end of the last episode from here, I said that I wanted to take a little break and do some other things, and well, I have. But that doesn't mean I haven't been playing on VaultCraft at all. No, I certainly have. I've gained quite a few levels since we last spoke, and that's part of the problem, because now I feel like I've run into a big old brick wall. Punk! But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, the first big thing was that Update 9 came out, and well, that was huge. That took 3 full videos to fully describe it. And since then, well, Update 10 has come out too. So if you haven't seen the Update Roundup videos, go check them out. It's definitely one of the most popular things that I do, and something that I do really enjoy doing, and plan to continue to do. But also in the meantime, I signed up for and ran an event, the Treasure Beacon Hunt. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of like a Minecraft UHC where you start off and just do a survival run, but you got to stop and do challenges along the way. And those challenges were, well, quite challenging actually, but also a lot of fun. My last video for that is coming out real soon too. And it was a good distraction. It was really good to kind of take a break from Vault Hunters. Now, the other big thing that's happened, yep, well, Tears of the Kingdom. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I have been having a blast playing that. If you haven't ever played Breath of the Wild or now Tears of the Kingdom, you absolutely should. Absolutely the best game ever. Well, maybe next to Minecraft anyway. It's very, very, very good in a different way. And another really amazing thing is that my wife and sometimes my daughter are there playing Tears of the Kingdom with me. So yeah, I hope you could join us sometime and get to know the rest of the family a little bit. But I have certainly been missing Vault Hunters. And Update 10 doesn't really change that much in terms of the progression, but I have been missing Vault Hunters, and I've got to get back to it. But in between all that time when I have been playing, well, I've been also recording some clips. So let's go take a look at some of those clips. First, after Update 9, I got my skills all reset, and I wanted to show you what I took. That and the expertises. Hey, it's finally here, it's finally here. Update 9 is finally on the VaultCraft SMP. I say finally, it's been a very reasonable amount of time, because we always try to take a little bit of time and wait for all the hotfixes to come out before doing the upgrade. So, but we're here with Update 9, and it looks like I've got a new quest book to go through. I don't think you all need to see that. You've got your own quest book to go through. So, let me get all that done, and I'll come back with my 51 points, and we'll figure out what to do about it. Well, I had hoped to do the entire book, but you reach a point where you've got to run a vault. And I don't want to run a vault until I've picked my skills, and that is something that I think is worth sharing with you guys. Now, honestly, I haven't got it all planned out, but I did do one thing already, and that is to make the skill altar and get heal for 1 point and save that as a profile. This is basically going to be my reset everything kind of profile, because I really don't think that I will ever go without any heal ability at all. So saving a profile with just 1 point in heal is going to be as close as I'm ever going to get to resetting completely. Now it's time to pick up the skills that I want. And I'm going to be hemming and hawing about this. I think I'm just going to go with a regular old build with lots of strength and haste and speed. And I don't really know. I mean, all my keybinds are all messed up. So I don't know. Let's just dive into it. Now, 1 point in heal is never enough. We can get up to 8. I'm going to go ahead and take 5. That's just kind of, who knows? I do like at least 1 in Hunter, and I do like the Observer, but I'm not going to pick that specialization just yet. When it comes to these skills, Strength, I'd better max that out. Haste, I take 2 into Haste. And I have felt so slow. Speed is really, really expensive though, but I'm going to take a couple into speed. I feel like I definitely need to do a javelin. So let's max out javelin. You know what? I'm also going to take Stonefall, at least 1 level. Or no, at least 2 levels. I die a lot to that kind of damage, and now I'm at 100% damage reduction to falling, so I like that. Ghost Walk, I don't really know. Vein Miner, yeah, I mean, at least 1. We'll do 2. Why not? Gosh, and now we're getting into the specifics. Now oh, my Summon Eternal. definitely need to do that. But now we're kind of getting into the specifics of playstyle, and that is an area that I really just don't know about yet. So I think this is all good generic stuff. I've still got a lot of unspent skill points. Man. Choices, choices, choices. I guess I will go ahead and put a few into dash. They can be, I mean, I see people use this really effectively in the vaults. So we'll go ahead and do 4. Ghost Walk can definitely be useful, but I definitely want this get out of jail specialization. You know, honestly, I feel like I have a lot more options with these skill points than I ever did before. Because the costs were so high before, I never really spent a lot of time trying out different skills. Now that the costs are generally lowered, I have a lot more skill points to play with than I ever did before. Oh, gosh. Totems. I definitely need some totems. We'll do 2 or 3. Yeah, why not? And I want to do a taunt fear. So we'll take that specialization. You know what? Let's just try this out. Let's just try these guys out. So now I got to deal with the keybinds. All right, so I'm going to run a quick vault with Magpie. Now, some of the people on the server here decided to reset their level and start over after update 9 because the beginning game has changed so much. I didn't really want to do that, but Magpie is level 0. So this ought to be a really simple vault for me. I should have absolutely no problem. My point with this is to run the vault and do it to complete the quest and keep moving the quest line, but also to get familiar with the new keybinds and the new skills. Well, I've run a couple vaults, and I'm getting better with the keybinds and stuff like that, but it's still not great. And honestly, I'm not really happy with my skill build out here. But I have come to the conclusion that I'm ready to spend some expertise points. And the big one is really Bounty Hunter. Having 2 active bounties is just incredibly useful. So I'm going to go all in on Bounty Hunter. And the other one that I'm going after is both Infuser and Mystic. I said that I probably would, and I am. Now, I haven't done a lot of crystal crafting, and I'm going to make a promise that that is going to change. You know, I'm in the late game now. I'm over level 50. That's what it's about, and that's where I'm going to get a lot of my bang for my buck. You know, my vaults are going to get more fun, and I'm going to be getting a lot more stuff and a lot more of what I want by taking advantage of the crystal crafting. So, yeah, we're going to be doing that pretty soon, and I'm going to be trying out some extra builds. But I got to get a little more comfortable with things first. I need to get that catalyst table going, and I need to make a bunch of catalysts and set up a catalyst station and all that good stuff. As a matter of fact, I've decided what to do with the basement area here finally. I've decided that I really don't have a good place to store my vault ores, you know, and I want to make a cave underneath to store all the vault ores. And I'm getting a little sick of having my main entry room here also be my vault portal. So somewhere down here, I'm going to make a vault portal room as well to be able to keep all of the stuff like this thing and maybe some gear changing stations and stuff like that down there. But not right now. I feel like just running a vault right now, so I'll come back to that later. But that's just a little heads up. That's what I'm thinking. The next clip I want to show you is me finding something that's really, really rare. And I'm really happy to have actually found it and got that done. So let's take a look at that clip. I see the allium.
Nice.
I think, yes, it is.
Can you put it down and then Swarmy get it? Oh, factory room too.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I think it's whoever picks it up.
I don't know, but I'm going for it. Yeah! It was just over here all by itself, off to the side. Oh, finally. Isn't that amazing? I got the secret StressMonster transmogrification unlock. This unlocked 2 special transmogs. First, the beautiful flower helmet. It doesn't look at all good with my steampunk skin, does it? But it sure is pretty otherwise. Next is this big old allium-based sword that I've got here. It's called the Allium Blade. And the helmet is called the Stress Flower. Anyway, these are secret transmogs that get unlocked when you find that special upside-down allium flower, which I have framed right here above my desk. It looks like a purple heart. It only took like 40 levels to finally find this thing. Goodness gracious. but I'm glad to have finally found it. Later on, I got another couple secret transmogs. These were added by Update 9 and awarded erroneously. But you know what? I don't care. I'll still take it. Let's watch that clip. I just ran the vault, and when I got done, I got this last sight transmog for completing a vault without any healing. Yeah, I most definitely did use healing. Lots of healing spells. But I completed the vault, which is great, and I completed a bounty. But yeah, I got a new transmog. I'll take a bug, regardless. I also had a bit of a challenge down here where I decided to collect a whole bunch of boxes. Completion crates, bounty crates, whatever. So here's a quick clip of me opening all of those. It was a lot of loot. I thought it might be fun to just collect a whole bunch of crates and then open them all at once, but now it's just getting a little annoying. They're taking up my whole living room here, and I'm just kind of sick of it. So I've got 35 different crates here, a lot of which are bounty crates, but as you can see, we got an elixir and a monolith over there. I say, let's go ahead and open them all up. Let's clean out the living room a little bit and then kind of go through the loot. So I've taken off my backpack, cleaned out my inventory, and let's see all of the stuff that we're going to get. Ready? Well, that was indeed a little bit more than I anticipated. Just one double chest? Laughable. Honestly, I think it's more satisfying to do that after you've run the vault and you get the crate. I didn't find it all that satisfying to just open lots of crates like I thought I might. But maybe you will. I don't know. Let me sort it out and we'll go over all the stuff. Well, that's a lot of stuff indeed. Now, opening all the crates might not have been that satisfying, but sorting it out and seeing all the stuff that we got, yeah, that was kind of satisfying. So starting with this one, this is just kind of the normal, non-category stuff. Couple fundamental focuses, couple echo gems, got a relic that needs to be identified. Well, let's do that right now. Dragon, I've already got that one. Maybe I'll actually be able to create a relic, finish a relic from these guys. Nope. Another dragon head. Oh well, but lots of good stuff from here. Again, just kind of normal stuff from the vaults. This is all the ingots and money. Yeah, that's a lot. 33 gold, nice. But that's a lot of copper. I don't know. Most of this must have come from the bounty crates, I'm guessing. But, you know, a couple stacks of vault ingots will certainly go a long way. And one piece of black chromatic steel, yeah, that's nice. All right. This one is all of the gems, and there's a lot of them. I haven't even really looked at the sizes, but yeah. A hammer size. I haven't gotten any hammer size yet. That's nice. All right, and this last one is all of the gear. I got a nice bit of gear. Well, that's going to take a lot of time to identify, which is why we need the new identification table. Yep, I knew this was going to be coming along. So I already crafted one of these things up. Let's identify a whole bunch of vault gear. Can I do it all in one inventory? No, I've got one piece that can't be identified. All right, but boom, all done. Look at all of those transmogs discovered. Wow. And something that was unintentional, but nice, I think, is that all of this stuff is based on the Update 9 rules, or should be. Yeah, look at that. 18.5 thorns damage plus 4 thorns damage. That is a nice shield for thorns builds, huh? All right, well, it looks like I've got a lot of sorting to do and a lot of smelting to do. This was actually, in the end, about as much fun as I thought it would be. Now I just got to clean up the living room. So here's where I ended up with all of this vault gear. This sword is just absolutely phenomenal. And absolutely going to keep that one. This one's a good backup, honestly, and I just didn't want to get rid of it. These axes also rolled pretty darn well on their damage, so we're keeping the axes, even though I don't think I'll be using axes. The rhino armor here is amazing. These are also really good and could be good backups, even though they're only scrappies. These guys, I mean, they're just okay. The Omega Angel. I wanted to try to re-roll this with some fundamental focuses that I got because, yeah, 8 armor is pretty bad, but having an Omega with all of the extra slots would be really nice. So let's pull that one out. But the Omega here, I wanted to see if I can get something better than a tier 3 8 armor roll on the main implicit. We could do better than that, right? I'll tell you, every single time I've ever used the fundamental focus, the rolls have come back worse. But let's give it a shot. 8 armor once again. Does that not re-roll? Come on, I'm going to do it one more time. All right, 10 armor, but that's still a tier 3. I would have really liked a nice tier 4 or tier 5 armor roll, honestly, but oh well. I guess that's the way it goes. Another thing that I've been doing is helping out here in the hub with some improvements with modular routers. I've got those clips ready, so let's take a look at those. So down here in the basement of the hub, I've been making some more changes with modular routers. You know, I had to play around with it, and this little thing is really fun. Look at that, 999 bottles of XP already. So this router has a vacuum module and a sender to send it up to the nearby thing. Now this is a Mark 1 sender, which means the drawer has to be touching it. But like a lot of other things, you just choose the face and it sends it up there. But the vacuum module is pretty cool. So when we look at the vacuum module, it has an XP vacuum augment. So that means it's going to vacuum up all of the XP that comes from this mob summoning chamber here. And it just puts it into bottles of XP, which then get added to the drawer. So we just switch on all the mobs, and it gets really loud, but we look at this, and it's going up faster and faster and faster. I think that's pretty darn neat. Although generally people come down here just to quickly repair up something, but now, with a big old supply of XP bottles, that is even easier. Now another thing that I've set up here with modular routers is this one here connected to our giant colossal chest. Now the colossal chest is the main collection for all of the mob drops that come from the spawner here, but it also is connected to all of these drawers over here with all of our terrariums and cagarium stuff. And so when something fills up, it overflows into this colossal chest. And we've got a lot of things in here that we don't really care about. For instance, mob heads and fishing rods from all the drown. Now, we really don't care about any fishing rods, and somebody's got to come in here and clean this up. So that's what this router is set up to do. So I've got two things in here. First is a puller that is set up to pull from this colossal chest. And this puller has a whitelist for fishing rods and specifically the glow squid head. But interestingly, I could only add one mob head to this filter. It treats all mob heads the same. So that one filter item is going to get every mob head from the colossal chest. And then next we've got a sender module, which just sends it to the left, right into this trash can. So with this thing running, it will keep this colossal chest clear of the junk that we don't need. Now I don't have it on right now because we've got, well, guardian heads and witch heads and glow squid heads and a whole bunch of other mob heads in here. I've just turned it so that it requires a redstone signal in order to turn it off. But now that it's actually running in this little space here, you can see those guardian heads going into the trash can. So all we got to do is let this run for a little bit, in fact, run all the time, and it will keep this colossal chest clear of the junk that we don't want, at least as long as the junk is mob heads and fishing poles. You do have to be very, very careful with this whitelist, though, in this kind of situation, because I'm sending it to the trash can. It's going to get rid of it. So if I get it wrong, there's a whole bunch of stuff in this colossal chest that we probably don't want to get rid of, like tridents and things like that. But it's another adaptive use of the modular routers to do something that is, menial and needs to be automated. So I'm pretty happy of these two adaptations. Now, this XP farm is nothing special, quite honestly. But knowing that we have essentially an unlimited supply of XP bottles, well, that's pretty nice. Now, something else I want to automate right here in my base with modular routers is the unloading of my backpack. So right now, I just manually pull things out of my backpack and stick it here into the simple storage network. But it can be automated with modular routers, and it can be done wirelessly, which is pretty cool. So let's set that up. The one caveat to this is that you have to have a specific block that you're going to be placing your backpack, and then like shift and place it on the floor. And once it's in this spot, then I can take a puller module and set the puller module to connect with it. Now, even with my backpack gone, because I picked it up, the puller module is still attached to this particular block within the 3D space. So if I were to put, say, a drawer down here, it would pull from that just as easily. Anything sitting in this block, the puller module will pull from. Now, obviously in the backpack, there are a lot of things that I want to pull out and put into my storage, but there are also a lot of things that I don't. And so this is more than the typical whitelist, blacklist filters can handle. So in this case, we need a bulk item filter. And if we use one of these guys in the air, you can see it's got a lot of spaces for a lot of stuff. So essentially, I want to set this up as a whitelist and put every single item that can come in from the vault that I want to put into my storage system into this bulk item filter. Now, it's not that hard, but it's going to take a little bit of time, so let me come back when that's done. All right, so there we go. We got a big old item filter set up. I know it's not everything, but I feel like it's going to be a really good start. And on this puller module, we do that by putting the bulk item filter in here. And it doesn't actually consume the item filter, it just keeps a ghost item of it. We got to change this to a whitelist. And then I've got this modular router set up here next to the chest, and we'll put the puller, nope, not in the buffer, in the module, right? Now we need the sender. And again, the sender is going to go into this chest. There we go. I had to actually pick the interface block on the chest. Just a regular block on the colossal chest doesn't work. It has to be an interface block. Very interesting. Okay. Sender, we're going to send anything. I don't need to set up any of this. Maybe some speeds would be good later on both the puller and the sender. But there we go. It's in there. And now, when I put my backpack on the magic spot, whoop, there we go. Okay, we can see things running through the floor, getting put away into the system. And I like this because, you know, yeah, we got this line going through the floor, but that's not a big deal. There's not a lot of palming and wires, and the modular router itself isn't even visible. It's just nice and out of the way. And in the meantime, my stuff is getting emptied out of my backpack. Now, I didn't have it set everything, of course. I don't want all of the scavenger items pulled out of the backpack, nor do I want all of these vanilla junk items that tend to build up down here to be pulled out of the backpack either. I really only want the vault items that I actually care about storing in my system to be pulled out of the backpack. And that's where that big old filter works wonderfully. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to add stuff to it a little later on, but for now, yeah, another nice quality of life change made possible by modular routers. But in spite of all that, my progress in the vaults has really slowed. And this is the brick wall that I was talking about at the very beginning. You see, level 50 is really a milestone when it comes to advancements. And afterward, things slow down drastically. I mean, it was extremely noticeable. So I went into the Discord and started asking some questions. Mainly, is there a list anywhere that has the amount of experience necessary to go from one level to another? And SlimeCube Boing came to my rescue with a spreadsheet that had all of the levels, and even had a nice chart. And one thing you'll see with this chart is that at level 51, it goes up drastically. Like, you need 40,000 XP to finish level 50, and you need 100,000 XP to finish level 51, which is 2.5 times more experience to do the very next level. And there are similar jumps as you go along into higher levels. And did you see the big jump at the end of the chart? It takes 1,000,000 XP. Yes, one with 6 zeros after it for each level between level 90 and 100. To me, that is insane. But wow, that was a literal XP brick wall. And honestly, it's really kind of dampened my spirits for playing the game and running vaults. You see, if you look at my vault history here, I'm not doing great on the XP front. I mean, 5,000 experience for a vault that I've survived, and 10,000 XP for a vault that I've completed. If you look at Iskal's numbers, they are way higher. He routinely will hit 15, 17, or maybe even 20-some thousand experience for completing a vault, and I'm at half that. Now, really that means I'm just not doing a very good job of running the vaults. And I get that. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel very good to be running vault after vault after vault after vault and not getting very much progression at all. Now we know the game isn't really flushed out at this level, and I kind of expect this to change. But for the time being, it's really kind of affected me, and not in a good way. And so I guess I just need to work on being faster. Faster at killing the mobs, faster at looting the chests, and things like that. And so to that end, I'm going to try out a brand new build. And the build that I really want to try is based around Toxic Reaction. The Toxic Reaction skill says that if you kill a mob affected by poison, it will in turn cast another poison nova, and this can chain indefinitely. So when a mob is killed and it has poison, it casts another poison nova, which can in turn kill another mob because it has poison, which casts another poison nova, and on and on and on. And I think that sounds very, very effective. So let's get to the skill altar and start over. Now, I've previously taken a snapshot of my skills. I'm going to go ahead and save another backup of my skills that I have currently because I've been adding stuff to it. But then it's a matter of restarting. And as you can see, this will only cost 5 regret orbs. The cost of regretting skills through the skill altar is greatly reduced. If I were to try to get rid of taunt here and unlearn each of the 5 levels that I've got in taunt, well, it would cost me 5 regret points. Or I can just completely start over with this right here, and it will also only cost me 5 regret points. Kind of broken, but in a good way. Because at 50 levels, trying to use 50 regret orbs to start over just isn't achievable. So there we go. We start over completely with 52 skill points left to spend. Now, obviously, any build around this toxic reaction needs to have this completely maxed out. And it also requires that you have Nova, and specifically the Poison Nova. So I really also need to max out this Nova. And make sure that I've got the Poison Nova specialization. But the other 36 points, that'll be interesting indeed. Like I said, I always want the strength maxed out. I think speed is always good to have. Some haste is good to have. And these are just your basics. I definitely want to have my Summon Eternal. A few more heal is good. I really did enjoy the totem, so I'll take 1 in totem. And a few in dash is definitely useful. Vein Miner, always good. I like my Hunter. It definitely helps complete the objectives. Let's do a couple in Stonefall. That was handy. And I really do like the Javelins. But I feel like I need to go some more into some of these enhancements. Like Ethereal, because, yeah, mana is always going to be a little bit of a problem. I'm a little scared about this, but you know what? Now I need to try it out in a vault. Well, first I need to change my keybinds. That's also very important. And then I'll try it out in a vault. So hopefully this vault will go a little better. I died in the last one, but I've since also been doing a little bit of armor crafting, and I've gotten probably, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 more armor points, because I must have popped up to the next tier when it comes to armor crafting. So I think this one I should be doing a lot better, but the real trick will be trying to remember to use my Poison Nova, which honestly is pretty expensive on the mana front. I might have to do something to try to get a lot more mana in my armor too. But we'll just run in and give it a try. Oh, it's an icy one and a scav. Okay, so practicing my key buttons here. This one triggers my Nova, and that's what I've got to be able to do. I got to get up to a bunch of mobs, trigger a Nova, and then kill one. Wow. That just like wiped them all out. These little trash mobs are so easy to get with that. Alright, here we go. Just start this chain reaction, and I think it worked out pretty well. It wasn't as great. I've had better. But it does use an awful lot of mana. It's really kind of rough in that regard. Well, that one was kind of crummy. Only 5,200 XP. I didn't do a lot of looting. I wasn't even trying to complete the vault because I was really just trying to get a handle on the new skill. And it worked out pretty well. I like the way it works. I like the whole Nova explosion thing. And it works really well on the Horde mobs. But you don't really need the whole thing for Horde mobs either. So, I don't know. I feel like the best way to do it is to run around and spawn everything into the room and then trigger it. And I didn't really try that because that's kind of dangerous and I probably would have died. But anyway, It was neat to try out a different build, and I'm going to keep working on it. It needs some tweaking, definitely. But that is going to have to wait for the next episode. We had a lot of catching up to do, and it just used up a lot of the episode time. But I'm really glad to be back to making content from the VaultCraft SMP. I don't plan on quitting. A lot of other creators are quitting and moving on to other things. As I said before, I'm going to branch out a little bit, but I'm going to keep playing. I like Vault Hunters quite a bit, and I don't really see that changing. So if you'd like to keep up with me here on the server, please think about giving it a subscribe. I really appreciate every single subscriber, and we are getting really close to 600. It would be really cool to meet that milestone soon. Even though it doesn't mean anything to YouTube, it means something to me. So, thanks so much for watching. Remember, be excellent to each other. I'm out.